Now I want you to think as hard as those puny brains of yours can manage. Have you ever spared a pig or a cow? Because it begged you for its life.
I creep and I crawl when I slide. These niggas, they don't come outside. Mask on and all black when we ride. We rollin' mob deep, you don't got no ties. She fucking with mine, I'm fucking with her. She tryna play stupid, don't got time for lying. Come see me, little bitch, I stay out the mix. I'm getting this money for fame, I'll be rich. I'm rolling with 5 and we mellow like Knicks. You come and stand up, you get
3, 2, 1.
Hello. I know it's been a little while. I'm gonna try to stay more consistent from now on, since I feel like I've pretty much gotten a formula for the type of content I want to create now. Anywho, breaking news is in. As you can tell by the title, there is going to be an official hunter's exam sometime in 2025, and it's going to be placed in
George Washington.
No, that's a fucking George Washington, Georgetown, Washington, D.C. Because I know there's 2 Washingtons. There's like one out west in like, I don't know where, but I think it's Seattle. I don't know. And then there's the District of Columbia. Anyways, that's besides the point. This is some crazy ass shit. I personally think, just like the fact that there's gonna be a hunter's exam, like that's a real thing. It's like, who the fuck like would think to like do some shit, and how do you do it? And like, I'm curious to really see how this setup is gonna be. Like, all right, I'm back. Sorry I left y'all hanging for a little bit. I was walking my dogs earlier. I know this is probably like I didn't leave y'all hanging at all. It probably just like y'all weren't waiting for anything because it was just like a second later, but it's all dark and shit.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
I was walking my dogs. They were being assholes while I was trying to take the video, so I had to hone in on them, really focus on like making sure they was paying attention to commands, abiding to them as they should. I left off talking about how intrigued I was by like the fact that there's an actual hunter's exam, just and like how they're gonna set it up. Because what the hunter exams is, well, before I explain that, I'd have to explain what a hunter is. So the profession itself, a hunter, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're just like one of humanity's like peak figures in terms of like, because like what a hunter is what everyone is, it's just how good are you at hunting for what you're looking for, you feel me? So these hunters, you feel me, they hunt for rare beasts, they look for secret treasures, and they also even hunt down people, you feel me, sometimes arresting them or sometimes,
Yeah, so
not everyone who's a hunter is a good guy. So, you feel me? They might do some other crazy shit. Like, they might just want to fight them because of their reputation. But when they get their hunter's license, you feel me, for the fact of, like, becoming a hunter, they have access to some of the rarest places in the world, which people just don't have access to, And, like, that made me think, like, if I do get my hunter's license here, like, am I just gonna be able to go to like the Sentinelese Islands or like deep in like some fucking remote tribe in the fucking Amazon? And if so, it's like, who the fuck is issuing that? Because that's kind of fucked up. You feel me? What if niggas get them sick? So it's like these must be some people with like who could like that's what I'm saying. What like if they can't give you that kind of access. It's not like. Especially in a time like this, I don't think that's possible. So I'm trying to figure out what the real win is from for passing, like what do you really get access to after? Now the actual exam, this is the fun part. So the hunter exam is a 5-part test that tests you on your physical abilities, it tests you on your mental abilities, and it tests you on your strategic abilities. They do this in many different ways. The first test is an endurance test. So in the anime, they had these niggas running for mad long, basically, in this underground tunnel, and they didn't tell them how far, like, they was running, basically, just to see what the endurance was like. So, what they have for the actual test, they said it's basically the same thing, but they said expect around 10 to 15 miles. So, it's doable, but only the first top half of the examinees get to pass. So, like, I'm kind of curious to see what kind of people actually sign up for this shit. Like, that's the crazy part to me. But, like, guys, this is like one of the hardest tests known to man. Like, they say it's like I think like only 10 out of 1,000 people like actually end up passing when the test is typically taken. Part 2 of the exam is pretty interesting though. I'm gonna read this one off for you. Phase 2 is it's about deception, not endurance. So in this phase, candidates are to thrust into a social game designed to test their ability to deceive, manipulate, and outwit a group. The challenge requires participants to hide their true intentions, sow confusion, and gain the trust of others, all while attempting to expose or eliminate rivals who may be doing the same. Success in this phase is determined by a candidate's skill in bluffing, misdirection, persuasion, as well as their ability to read the intentions of others. This phase tests not only cunning, but also emotional intelligence and adaptability in high-pressure social scenarios. I feel like through that description they gave, they just kind of reiterated it through every sentence. Like, every time I read you off, like, one point of a sentence, it would be like, okay, I just said that. Okay, I just said that. Okay, I just said that. But anywho, they're very vague with their descriptions. That's what's interesting to me, because you don't even know what that game really is. The setup's interesting. I'm trying to think, because I don't remember deception really being its own kind of category or part in the actual exam that was in the anime. I remember, like, deception was a part of the entire exam, you know, because, like, there wasn't really any rules against what you could, like what you could do to other people and stuff. Like, there were, but they was real loose with it. Like, one of the characters literally killed somebody at, like, the beginning of the exams, and the exam proctor, the one who was, like, leading the exams, was like, don't do that shit again or I'm gonna kick you out. He just murdered somebody. He turned him into rose petals. Phase 3 is a labyrinth. So, in this phase, candidates must navigate a complex maze filled with riddles, puzzles, and physical challenges at every turn. Teamwork is essential for success, as each station of the labyrinth presents a different test of intelligence and problem solving. Like, this is, I'm gonna do it just because this is the opportunity of a lifetime. You really get to test yourself, and you get to, like, go on a full adventure within this place. Probably meet some interesting ass people. Yeah, I've got some strategies. I don't know. Maybe at the end of this video, I might tell you some of the strategies I have for each of them, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should, because if people know my strategy, how am I going to move correctly? I don't know what the hand thing was. But in the anime, the labyrinth was crazy as fuck, because what they did was they got dropped at the top of, like, so it was like it's like a plateau thing, but inside of it is like a whole maze or labyrinth. But it's actually a labyrinth of a prison that's inside with prisoners who were going up against the huntees to, like, challenge them in a game and see if they could beat them. And it could be a game of any choice. It could be like rock, paper, scissors, shoot, or it could literally be a fight to the death. Like, and it was crazy. I want to see how they're gonna do this, because at the top of the plateau thing, like, everyone was dropped there, and the goal was to get down the plateau. But people were thinking, like, oh, we need to go down the sides, you feel me? Climb the mountain down, you feel me? But everyone who was climbing down the sides, they was getting picked off by these giant ass birds. It was like a fucking all-you-can-eat buffet for these birds. You feel me? So then, like, the main characters were watching this happen, right? And they turn back around, and it seems like there's a lot less people on the plateau. And it's like, okay, what's going on? So then they find, like, that there's trap doors that lead you down into the plateau, you feel me? Into the building, into the prison or whatever, you feel me? So, yeah, I'm just interested to see how that works. Okay, after that, there's phase 4. which is capture the flag. And that's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll read it anyways. In this phase, candidates engage in a high-stakes game of capture the flag, where each participant is both hunter and the hunted. Every candidate is assigned to a target to capture, while simultaneously being pursued by another competitor. The objective is to successfully capture your target's flag while avoiding capture yourself. Victory is earned through a combination of tactical cunning and decisive action. So I wonder if they're going to have this take place in a forest too, because I keep going back to this. But in the anime, they had these badges on their chest, you feel me? And they were sent out into a forest. And the goal was you had to get a certain amount of badges and try to maintain your own. But if you didn't maintain your own, it was fine and it got taken. If you kept your own badge, I think that was worth more points than if you took somebody else's badge. But yeah, and then you had to survive like 3 days or some shit. So this is going to be interesting. Because I wonder if they're going to time it, you know, and then that's when it's over. Like, if you get your flag taken, are you done? Are you out? Or do you have time to get it back? Because if that's the case, and this is in a forest or something, it seems like niggas is just going to be throwing bows. Like this is going to be, like, because, like, if you take my shit and I still see you, like, I'm
going to fight you now.
I'm trying to get it back. Like, what? This sounds, I mean, being a hunter is dangerous, you know? And then after that is the final phase. It's one-on-one combat. So this whole time you've been running, you feel me? You've been hiding, you've been attacking, you've been mentally pushing your limits and manipulating and shit. And now you gotta continue to fight, but a fight in its fullest, you know? Like, this whole thing was a metaphor of a fight, but then you actually gotta fight people. But apparently it's not like anything too bad. It's just you knock somebody off of a platform. So probably grappling is going to be the most important thing here. But also, I don't know if they'll implement weight class. They probably won't, because that wasn't a thing in the anime. It's just like, you just got to deal with what you deal with. So probably grappling would be a lot of people's best option. Like, you need to probably learn how to grapple, and yeah, that's going to be interesting. And I wonder how much you can get away with. Because if we... should I tell you guys my strategy? Because that's the thing. Like, I would want to do this. I would definitely want to do this. But, like, only if it was, like, in a reasonable time span. Like it's 2020. It's about to be 2025 right now. So if that's just, like, by the beginning of February, I'm not doing that shit. But, like, if it's, like, when the summer comes around or when the spring comes around, which would make the most sense. I mean, yeah, especially for like somewhere Washington D.C. When the spring comes around, I can imagine that would be when like shit's about to pop off. So yeah, I would do that. Anyways, yeah, look into it on your own. And if you had never watched Hunter x Hunter, top tier anime. I didn't know I never watched the 1999 version, but the 1999 version looks fire though. But the 2011 version is tough too. You feel me? So it's a great show. And yeah, this was exciting, and I'm excited to actually be a part of that if I can, you know.